Dear children, I hope all of you are happy and safe at home. In this pandemic, it is very necessary to maintain a good health, to develop our immunity power to resist diseases. Health is wealth. This is a well-known proverb. Health is like money. We never understand the value of it until we lose it. Today, we are going to learn something related to this. That is, why do we fall ill? Have you ever thought, why do we fall ill? Yes, we fall ill because of less immunity power, maybe because of less intake of nutritious food item. All these are connected. These diseases, when we say, they are of two types. Some are congenital disease, some are acquired disease. Congenital disease we get from parents to offspring, is transferred from parents to offspring. Whereas acquired disease, a child gets after birth. We acquire it. This acquired disease is of two types, communicable and non-communicable. Non-communicable diseases are, for example, deficiency diseases. It will not spread from an infected person to a healthy person. Whereas communicable diseases spread from an infected person to a healthy person. It may be through water, through food, through personal contact, or through vectors. Today, we will be discussing about the significance of health, the importance of personal health and community health, and all the things related to maintain a good health. Shall we learn about that? Or shall we discuss about the importance of all this? Fine. Why do we fall ill? We fall ill if our health is not proper. So what is health? According to WHO, that is World Health Organization, health is a state of complete physical, mental and social well-being and not merely the absence of diseases. If we are not having any disease, it doesn't mean that we have a good health. We must be physically well. That means we should not have any pain in the body. Physical illness should not be there. Mentally well, mental means we should not have any mental worries. If we have mental worries also, it will affect our health. And also social well-being. We must be socially fit. So if we are good or if our health is free from all these physical worries, mental worries and social worries, it means that you have a good health. It helps to maintain a good health. Next, what is the significance of health? Or what is the advantage of having a good health? First, a good health is healthy body with a healthy mind and healthy attitude. So what is the significance of health? First one, good health is healthy body with a healthy mind and a healthy attitude. Second, good health makes a man healthy and cheerful. You will be happy. Third, it makes living a joyful experience without any worries. Fourth, it increases our efficiency for doing work. Just imagine if you are sick, will you be able to do work? No. And fifth, good health is a condition for our peaceful existence in the world. So if we are having a good health and if we are not having any disease, we will be able to live a peaceful life. Next, community and personal health. What is this community and personal health? Health of a person depends upon his personal habits as well as physical environment. Social equality and harmony in the community are also important to maintain individuals' health. Therefore, our social environment is an important factor in our individual health. Similarly, the health of the whole community depends on the personal habits of various individuals who constitute the community. So this community health and personal health are connected. Only if a person, each individual is having a good health, automatically what will happen? The whole community will maintain a proper health. So both are connected. Next, what is personal health? It is the state of physical, mental and social well-being of an individual. What we have already discussed. Then what is community health? It is the maintenance, protection and improvement of health of the whole community. So now you would have understood how these both are connected. Next, maintenance of community health. What should we do to maintain a proper community health or the health of the people living in the community? The first and foremost one is maintaining proper sanitation of the environment. What do you mean by maintaining proper sanitation of the environment? So under that, first one is providing clean and safe drinking water. People should have safe and clean drinking water. Only then the people will have proper health. So that should be provided. Second, providing good sewage and rainwater disposal systems. If there is no proper sewage system and rainwater disposal system, what will happen? It will get accumulated or it will get collected here and there, and those places will become breeding places for flies and mosquitoes, which will indirectly affect the health of the people in the community. Third is proper garbage disposal. Garbage should be disposed properly. If not, they will also become breeding places for organisms like flies, mosquitoes, etc., which are the vectors of diseases. Organisms which carry disease-causing microorganism. And fourth one, enforcement of anti-pollution laws. Pollution should be controlled. So in the community, anti-pollution laws should be laid to protect the people living in the community. Next, second point is providing proper facilities for prevention and control of diseases. So what should be done to control or prevent diseases in the community? Can you guess? Okay, you're familiar with vaccination. You would have heard vaccination. Preventive vaccinations against number of diseases like tuberculosis, diphtheria, whooping cough, tetanus, measles, hepatitis, polio, mumps, etc. is given. Second, if any of these communicable diseases are spreading in the community, usually spraying of mosquito and germ killing chemicals at regular intervals should be done. So this is done usually in the rainy season. You know, now it is rainy season. Lot of communicable diseases will spread during the season. So we have to see that our surrounding is kept neat and tidy. Cleanliness is very, very essential. So we must see that water is not collecting anywhere. We should not provide any breeding places for mosquitoes. If at all any puddles or anywhere the water is collecting, you should pour some kerosene or petrol so that these larvae will be killed. Third, providing health education. So here this is the place where the seminars, then classes and posters, etc. is needed. Usually health education classes are provided to the masses regarding mode of transmission of diseases, mechanism of control of communicable diseases, importance of balanced diet, effects of bad habits like alcoholism, addiction, etc. You know, many of them are illiterates. Nowadays there are no illiterates in our society, but still many of them are not aware of how diseases are transmitted from one person to another, from an infected person to healthy person. For example, you know, now COVID-19 is the pandemic what we are suffering from. So we all know that how it is spread. Lot of media's influence is there. Lot of informations are passed through media. So people are made to know or made to understand how this disease, the virus, spreads from an infected person to a healthy person. Thereby, we are able to take precautionary measures to prevent ourselves from getting this disease. Likewise, there are so many other diseases that will spread during the rainy season. So it is the duty of the health workers, etc., or the people who are aware of this to educate the people about the mode of transmission of diseases, how to control them, what are the preventive measures to be taken, all that. So this is also very, very important to maintain a community health. Fourth point, establishment of health care services. Like primary health centers, district hospitals, community health centers, medical colleges, regional hospitals, etc. are the main health care services in our society. Here these, usually in our places, small places, we have primary health centers. It is the place where we take children for getting vaccinated, and if you have any disease, you report to the health center so that they will take some measures to prevent all those diseases. Last one, providing maternity and child care centers. So, by providing this, provision of family planning advisors and medical care for infants and small children is provided by these centers. The pregnant ladies and the newly born children are provided with healthy food items by the health centers. So that is how they take care of the pregnant women and also the children, infants. So these are provided to take care of the health of these pregnant women and also children. So these are some of the things done for maintaining community health. So here you can see the 5 F's. What is to be done to prevent the transmission of diseases by maintaining sanitation and hygiene. You can clearly see in the picture the first one. Okay, from the fecal matter. Diseases, community, there are 2 types of diseases. Already in the starting I told you, diseases may be congenital or acquired. Congenital disease is transferred from parents to offspring, whereas acquired diseases, people get it after birth. So many of the diseases, acquired disease may be communicable or non-communicable. Communicable diseases are usually caused by microorganisms. Microorganisms may enter into the body of a healthy person through air, through water, through personal contact, and also through vectors. What are vectors? The organisms that carry the disease-causing microorganism is called vector. For example, flies. Flies sit on fecal matters. These flies, when they come and sit on the food items that are exposed, the hairs present in the legs of these flies can carry hundreds and thousands of microorganisms. They are microscopic. We may not be able to see with our eyes. When they sit on the food item, they drop these microbes in the food item. So when we eat or drink the food items on which the fly has sat, what happens? These microbes will enter into our body and cause disease. So for example, cholera, typhoid, all these are food and waterborne diseases. So if we are not maintaining proper hygiene, sanitation and hygiene, these diseases can spread from one person to another very easily. So here in this picture you can see how diseases spread, or what are the different ways by which diseases spread through vectors or through any other means from fecal matter to a healthy person. You can see here on the left side fecal matter is there, and what are the different ways by which it reaches a healthy person. So the first one you can see, if we have to protect the water, the spreading of diseases through water, the first one near the glass you can see, protect the water source, treat and store water safely. You have to boil the water before drinking, cover the water and keep, so that we can stop the spread of this disease. Second thing is, wash hands before preparing the food and also before taking the food. When you wash your hands, all these microbes can be removed. So have food only after washing. Third, you can see flies. Cover the food to control flies. Always keep the food covered. Never eat food items which are exposed. You can see many people putting the grapes or any other things which are kept exposed. You buy from the shop and just taste it to see if it is very sweet or sour. Actually, that is a very, very bad habit, because lot of microbes would have been deposited by the flies which are sitting on these fruit items. So never eat the fruits or vegetables without washing. Never eat any food items that are kept exposed. The next one you can see, clean vegetables and fruits before you use. That's what I told you just now. Avoid open defecation. Nowadays open defecation is less, but still see that you wash the vegetables and fruits before eating. And the last one you can see, proper drainage system, treatment of water. That is, if you don't have a proper drainage system, that will also become places or the breeding places for these flies and mosquitoes which spread diseases. So you would have understood what are the measures to be taken to prevent transmission of diseases. Next, what do you mean by disease? You have understood what is health and what is disease. It is defined as the impairment of the normal state of the living organism that disturbs the performance of vital functions in response to environmental factors. In other words, you can say, in simple way you can say, any deviation from normal health is called as disease. So, today I have introduced this chapter. I have told you the main things about the chapter. What is health, what is disease, what are the different means by which the disease spread, what is the care to be taken to prevent diseases, what is the significance of having a good health, and what is community and personal health. Your work for today is you have to copy all the notes that is given in the slide today. And apart from that, you have to write 2 diseases each. You can write more than 2 also. Okay, minimum 2 diseases each caused by bacteria, second virus, third fungus, fourth, okay, 3 fungus. So 3 organisms, 2 diseases each. Then you have to answer to the questions which is given on page 187 and 88. Please read the question and you may answer the questions in the text from the back of the notebook. Hope it is clear. Please complete all the work. When I call you, you have to answer to me. Thank you.